everyone, welcome back to Lost on the Couch. I'm David.
I'm Audrey.
I'm Zola.
And I'm Hassan.
Yes.
And I'm Austin.
Oh yes, and this is Austin. Everybody give Austin a round of applause. Austin is a guest on the couch. For those who join our Patreon,
He's found on the couch.
Yeah, he's found. We found him.
Oh.
No, you didn't find him in the couch. Did you say in the couch?
On.
Oh, okay. Found on the couch.
Please.
For those who have joined our Patreon, you might recognize him. We did an interview with him and his wife who've been going through Lost.
Mm-hmm.
How are you liking the show so far?
I tried to not watch the show for so long, and it finally caught up to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good show. This is the best show ever.
Oh, I'm
Loving
so glad you like
Loving
it.
Wow.
You just watched season 5, episode 6.
Yes.
And so the timing worked out, and he's here to join us to watch season 5, episode 7, which is what we're watching today, and it's called The Life and Death of Jeremy Bentham. Before we talk about that title, let's talk about what happened last episode. Who remembers what happened? You don't get to. You just watched it recently. So,
It's fresh.
you're the
They all
cat.
re-crashed on the island.
They re-crashed on the island. Okay. Anything else that happened?
Yeah, Jeremy Bentham hung himself.
We learned that he committed suicide by hanging.
And
That's
his
true.
letter said, "I wish you had believed me."
Yes, trying to convince Jack. Yes.
And we don't know what happened to Aaron.
Ron.
Yeah, because Kate
Kate
was.
said, "Never ever speak of it."
That's right.
Which to me seems like a cheap plot twist, but that's okay.
And
We'll see
Jin's
how this
alive.
works out.
Yeah, and Jin's alive, and he met Danielle Rousseau.
Yep, that was the episode before.
Oh, was
OG
it?
Danielle
Okay.
Rousseau.
And Eloise Hawking told these folks that they needed
Oh,
to
yeah.
do what in order to
They
be
had
able to
to
get back to the island.
Make it very similar.
Yes,
There were lots of similarities.
there
like,
were lots of scenes.
Saeed was arrested.
Also,
apparently.
like, we got to see the scenario where, like, the people that Rousseau came with were, like, sick and were trying to kill her.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was cool. That was cool. And the monster, he said something. Do you remember what he said about?
Oh yeah.
Like her husband, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
Said-
it's a security system that's...
To protect
For the temple.
Yes. Yeah. And Jack has kind of got a little bit of faith in him, a little bit. He's thinking like, wow, this is crazy. We're all on this plane, and these things are kind of happening for a reason, he says as he goes back to the island. Real quickly, Austin, I want to know some of your favorite characters.
Favorite characters?
Yeah, like our YouTube audience hasn't heard your favorite characters. If you join our Patreon, you'll hear all about him and his wife's favorite characters. But
Like right now or just throughout the show?
I guess like right now in this moment, before we watch this episode, like what's
Saeed.
Saeed?
Saeed's
Okay.
my favorite character.
Okay.
Who's your top 3?
Top 3, definitely Saeed is easy. Hurley
Thank
is
you.
in the top 3. Hurley is the
Hurley's the
absolute
best.
coolest. And I would probably say Hurley's dad, but he's probably not in it enough.
Yeah.
So,
That's so funny.
And Hurley's mom is probably up there too.
Aw,
Mom
love
and dad.
Hurley.
I appreciate. I don't like Ben that much, but I appreciate the actor. So I'm gonna go with Ben
Yeah.
because every time he's on the screen, I think something's gonna happen.
You want to punch him in the face?
Yes,
Like
Yeah.
everybody
so
does.
hard. But that's a good actor. That
But
makes
so
me
does
want to punch
everyone
him.
else on the island. He's been
Yeah.
punched a lot.
Right,
Yes.
and he always keeps his cool, which I think is cool. Which is same
Yeah.
with Saeed. When you get beat up and you keep your cool,
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Like you were so cool.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be able to keep my cool.
No, instead of whining.
The YouTube people commented saying that they thought it was funny how, like, when someone kills someone else on the island, we're like, that's murder. But then when Saeed kills someone, we're all like, he's so badass.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so
You guys
funny.
are always
I didn't know
evaluating
that.
whether it's murder or not. But this is called The Life and Death of Jeremy Bentham. Who's Jeremy Bentham?
It's Locke.
Okay, what's going to go down in this episode?
He's gonna die.
And he's going to life and death.
Life and
He's
death.
going to live and die.
Live and die.
What do you expect to happen besides that?
Figure out how he got off the island and how the heck he convinced everyone to get
We
back.
know how he got off the
And how he,
island.
and
well,
how he committed
true.
suicide.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to know how he fixed his bone sticking out of his leg.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he'll be back in a wheelchair.
Oh.
He would hate that.
The thing is, if he goes off the island, will he go back in a wheelchair
Yeah.
anyway? Interesting.
At
Why
least
did he
then
choose such a
wouldn't
horrible name?
Feel it, maybe.
Oh, that's true.
Why
Okay.
Jeremy Bentham?
Yeah, why did you choose
Yeah,
Jeremy?
why Jeremy Bentham?
Isn't that... It's either an anagram or it's actually a famous person, Jeremy Bentham.
I just
think it's a
think
fan.
Bentham.
Bent ham.
That's all I think of, and I can't get it out of
I
it.
mean, Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
Here we go. Life and Death of Jeremy Bentham. 3,
Here we
2,
go.
1.
Who is this?
That's the guy who was on the plane.
Does Life magazine actually still exist?
Making a lot of noise. guys
This
there,
is no
buddy.
longer subtle.
Yeah. Is a map? Space, time.
Caesar,
Salad.
Is that the girl that arrested
Say.
Said?
What's up?
find anything?
Nothing useful.
The one you just put in your bag.
Oh,
Oh, that.
We found someone. A man. Whoever he is, he didn't come with us.
and how do we know he isn't one of the ones who disappeared?
He's not.
Oh, look at where the
What did this
plane
man have to
crashed.
say?
The plane crashed. They just didn't appear where the plane crashed with everyone else.
Hello?
John Locke.
Hello.
My name is Caesar.
Kind of sound like Ben.
What's yours?
My name is John Locke.
But also, what if this is a flashback and they had crashed on the island previously and they got back on the plane to re-crash on the island? I guess not. I
He
don't
was
know.
in
I
a
can't
suit
tell.
on the in the casket, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
was on the plane.
I'm Alana.
John.
I think this is the best mango I've ever eaten.
Been in the casket for too long.
Nobody remembers you being on the plane.
Well, I don't remember being on it either.
What do you remember?
I remember a lot.
Why you're dressed up so nice?
Jack was in the suit too.
I remember dying.
That'd freak out.
She's
She's like,
uh,
okay, you're crazy.
Never follow up questions.
Never.
Never.
He also woke up in the desert.
Bone sticking out still. Oh.
Oh, jeez.
This
Not off to
sucks.
a good start.
Why does it keep dropping them off in Tunisia?
Is that where Ben went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope those guys on horses don't come by. A little defenseless.
Oh.
Why do they keep doing it?
We get it, guys. We get it.
What?
There's a camera.
Maybe Whitmore. Maybe he anticipated it.
Can you help me?
Wow, that really sucks. C-packs.
I think it's a little stronger than that. It's so aggressive. It's that guy.
You bite.
Oh,
Bite.
oh no.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
And a song.
no. How do you not pass out? Okay,
There you
I was
go.
about
Lights
to say,
out.
I wish you did that first.
John,
I'm sleeping
John.
here.
wake up. You had a compound fracture.
Oh.
That's a compound fracture?
It's nice to see you again, John. I met you when I was 17. Now all these years later, here we are. You look exactly the same. My name is Charles Whitmore.
It's so weird.
The camera in the desert, that was yours. How do you know I'd be there?
Good call.
And that's the exit. I was afraid Benjamin might fool you into leaving the island, as he did with me. I was their leader.
The other?
They're not the others to me, they're my people. We protected the island for more than 3 decades. I was exiled by him, just as you were.
I wasn't exiled. I chose to leave.
You've come to bring them back. The ones who left. They've been back 3 years.
3 years.
Job just got a lot harder.
I have to bring them back.
And I'm going to do everything in my power to help you do that.
Why would you help me?
Because there's a war coming, John. And if you're not back on the island when that happens, the wrong side is going to win.
Ominous.
Also, how does he know that?
Jeremy Bentham.
He
Canadian.
was a British philosopher.
You've been watching them?
I'm deeply invested in the future of the island, John. I can't imagine what they think of me, having listened to Benjamin's lies.
How do I know that you're not the one who's lying?
I haven't tried to kill you. You just heard the same for him.
Nope.
I needed Linus removed so it could be your time. The island needs you, John,
What makes you think I'm so special?
because you are.
Doesn't bring much clarity, does it?
No.
Richard Alpert said the only way to get them to come back was if I died.
I'm not going to let that happen. This is Matthew Abadock. He'll take you anywhere you need to go, Mr. Locke.
No, he was gonna.
Oh no, it's worst nightmare. Also, why are you getting out before he gets in the car? Take him from there to the car.
Anything you need, Mr. Locke, you just let me know.
Also, he's
Anybody
pushed
from
in
your
a
past you want me to
wheelchair.
look up for you?
Please don't talk to me.
Got it.
Me when I'm riding in an Uber.
Espera. Eres un visitante.
Oh, jeez.
You actually want me to go back?
This is the only way we're gonna save them.
I'm not going back. For 2 years, I was manipulated into thinking I was protecting everyone. So who is manipulating you, John?
This is coming from me, nobody else.
It's only because I left the island that I was finally able to marry the woman I loved. The best 9 months of my life, John.
Say that louder.
Take that, Shannon.
Where is she now?
She was murdered.
By Ben! Don't
Why
lie.
do you really need to go back? Is it just because you have nowhere else to go? Goodbye, John.
You asked if there was someone you could look up for me. Her name is Helen.
She no girlfriend of yours? So that's
I
my
knew it! I was like, the
Yeah.
only person who lives in New York is
Oh, it's got
Michael
deep.
Cole.
You don't seem surprised to see me.
I've been having dreams about you. You were on the island wearing a suit, and there were people all around you. They wanted to hurt you, John. So why'd you come to see me?
I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Yeah, it was good seeing you, John.
Yeah. Take care.
He couldn't ask him.
You didn't invite him along.
Boy's been through enough.
Maybe I misunderstood, but I thought you had to bring everyone back.
I only need to convince one, and if I can do that, the rest will come.
Jack.
Mistake, but I thought you were my driver.
He's so randomly mean.
I know.
It's like always.
Oh, Ben. He does look like a New York snob.
Ben.
Punchable face.
So you didn't make it, huh? You're not the first person to visit me, you know.
Oh.
What's up with the
Dead.
wheelchair?
Hugo, I'm not dead.
Hey, Susie, am I talking to a dude in a wheelchair right now?
Yeah?
Whoa, dude. I need you to come back to the island with me.
Wait, what?
And not just you, but everybody who left.
Sorry, dude, I don't think that's gonna happen. Dude, be cool.
Dude,
Oh, don't worry, he's with me. What?
He's evil. You should not be trusting that guy.
Please, just listen to me.
No, I'm not listening to you.
Hugo, please, listen.
I want to go back in.
What exactly is it that you do for Mr. Whitmore?
You're not really gonna pretend you don't remember that I was the one who told you to go on the walkabout.
I remember.
I help people get to where they need to get to, John. That's what I do for Mr. Whitmore.
But how does he know?
Well, because Widmore, as a young kid, knew that he was there. John Locke was on the island.
The answer is no. Think about you sometimes. Think about how desperate you were to stay on that island. It was all because you didn't love anybody.
Jeez, Kate.
That's not true. I loved someone. Her name was Helen.
Now he feels like a jerk.
Long story, but it
I was
was a
angry.
kidney.
Obsessed.
Look how far you've come.
Wow.
It's a deck.
Who are you,
What's
Kate?
funny is I was gonna say obsessed.
One of the most ruthless things I think Kate has said.
Yeah. She's mean a lot.
Did you find her?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Your job is to get people to where they need to get to. Well, I need to get to her.
Santa
Oh
Monica.
wow. They gonna be at the pier? That's
Kind of like
She
the pier.
died.
I don't think a cemetery is quite as fun as the pier.
I think so.
no.
That's
Quite.
so sad.
She died of a brain aneurysm. She loved me.
They could have been together.
Helen is where she's supposed to be.
Dead?
Sad as it is, her path led here. No matter what you did or what you do, your path leads back to the island.
You say that like it's all inevitable.
Mr. Whitmore told me Richard Alpert said that you were going to die. Is that inevitable, or is it a choice?
What, you think I want to die? How could you possibly think that's a choice?
Hey, I'm just a driver.
Was that Ben?
That's about how people drive out here.
I'm stressed.
Both my favorite characters died.
Nikki and Paulo.
Oh, jeez.
What are you doing here?
He's
I
like,
can't
well, I
catch a
got
break.
in a car accident.
What are you doing here? We have to go back.
Immediately.
Because it's our destiny. How many times are you going to say that to me? Of all the hospitals they could have brought me to, I end up here. You don't think that's fate?
You being brought into my hospital isn't fate, John. It's probability.
Somebody is trying to kill me. They don't want me to get back because I'm important.
Maybe you are just a lonely old man that crashed on an island.
Everyone is so
That's
mean.
I don't disagree.
Your father says hello. He said his name was Christian.
Boom. Now the drugs begin.
Yep.
My father is dead. We left and we were never important. So you leave me alone. And you leave the rest of them alone.
I think Jack's a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
But he also knows that he found his dad's casket and there was not a dad in it.
There was not a dad.
There's not a
There
dad.
was not a dad.
There was never a dad in that case.
Talk about a man of faith to kill yourself.
Right?
And then Whitmore said that he wouldn't have to, but he's still gonna do it anyway. Oh, I hate this!
Wow, he's willing to die to save everyone.
Oh, jeez.
John?
Oh, it's Ben.
John, stop.
Wait, he said he
How did you
kill
find me?
himself.
I have a man watching Saeed. You killed Abaddon. Yes.
Who's surprised?
Yes, I did. Whitmore came to me. He saved me. No, Johnny used you. Charles Whitmore is the reason I moved the island. To keep him away so that you could leave.
Oh, now they've both said he's gonna be the leader. Who do you believe?
He's
You
just
can't do
big old Han.
He's being used just like
John, you
Elvis
have no idea how
backstories.
important you are. I'm a failure. No, John, you're not. I am. I can't lead anyone. Jack booked a ticket. Whatever you said to him, John, it worked.
Oh
You
my
can't
gosh.
die. You've got too much work to do.
I feel like Ben's gonna kill him.
I mean, he could just let him die.
Please, John.
This is so depressing.
I know we could do this, John. You haven't even been to Sun yet. I promised Jin that I wouldn't bring her back. Jin is alive? He wanted me to tell her that his body was
Yeah.
washed up on the beach.
Has
Promise
Ben
is a
been to the
promise.
future too? He seems surprised that Jin survived, as if he knew he was supposed to die or something.
There's a woman here in Los Angeles. A woman. Her name is Eloise Hawking. Eloise Hawking. Yeah, why? You know her? Yes, John. I know her.
I knew this was gonna happen. Just tell me the point, Ben.
Well, they said Locke had to die, and maybe he has to be killed, as opposed to just dying.
Instead of suicide?
Right. It's
Or
pretty
maybe he
calculated.
just needed some more information out of him and he got it, and now he's done.
I'll miss you, John. I really will.
So he doesn't expect him to come back.
That's so dumb. He wiped the doorknob and then closed the doorknob with his hand.
That's Zola's one takeaway from
But
the
he
scene.
did. He's the one who said that he had to bring him back.
I have a mystery too. On the plane, there was a big noise and a bright light. And this really big guy with curly hair was gone, man. Do you have an idea about what happened?
I might know how I came to be here. And everyone's accounted for?
Except for the people who got hurt.
The people who got hurt?
Ernie is gonna be Ben. Hello, John.
You know him?
Yeah. He killed me.
Yeah. He's the man who killed me.
I'm good at predicting these lines.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, how the turns of
Dun, dun,
tables.
dun!
How the turntables of...
That was so good.
All right, gut reaction. Let's start with Austin. You're the guest. What'd you think of the episode?
Gut reaction. Good. Like most episodes, answers some mysteries, creates more mysteries.
Yep.
What are the mysteries that were answered for you in this episode?
People kept saying they were visited by Locke.
Oh yeah, just
And
like
so-
the details.
Yeah, how long it took and how he had to die, and apparently he comes back to life. Because when he died, you didn't think that he was actually gone. right? You always felt like he was coming back.
Yeah. You mean in this episode or in general?
Just in general, when they first show his casket, and you find out who Jeremy Bentham actually is. I didn't think he was actually dead.
Yeah. All right, gut reaction from the normal couch members. You're normal too, but
That was
just not a couch
crazy.
member.
Thanks. I don't know. That was crazy. I'm just like, I have so many questions for Ben, and then I'd like to punch him in the face, and then. But now I just have so many questions about the new people on the island that crashed in the plane.
Do you remember their names?
Caesar salad.
Caesar salad is one of them.
No, I don't remember the
the
other
girl?
girl's name.
And
Cynthia. Oh no, Lucia.
Rebecca.
No.
Does it start with S?
Nope. Starts with an I.
Oh, Isabel. No, Alana.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice. All right.
good
Austin's going to be a regular member on the couch now. Okay. Thoughts,
Your turn.
Hassan or Zola?
Why would he give up like after only a few days?
Give up
I
what?
know.
He
Like-
gave up so quickly.
But
Like,
people are
trying to
being
get
so
them back?
mean to
yeah,
him.
they're pretty harsh.
Yeah, but on the
I've never
island, he
felt-
was like so insistent.
And then
for
the girl he loved
months.
Yeah,
I
but-
felt like he was more in control on the island.
Yeah, I was gonna
think
say,
off
the
island
island's
isn't
like
his
close.
territory.
Yeah.
I've never felt more sad for Locke. He just looked. He's a really good actor. I felt
He and Jack
really
both. Yeah,
upset when he was crying.
I know.
I didn't feel that way about him even when he was crying about Boone. You know,
Right,
because I
right.
felt like he had an ulterior motive with Boone. Like, he felt bad, but he was like, it's the island's destiny. And you're just like, John, shut up, someone died.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh my gosh, people are so mean to him and calling him a lonely old man who's never loved before and
And-
obsessive and just like,
It-
everyone's telling him he's special and you know that cuts deep.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is that it's kind of. I think he notices that pattern in his life, and it cuts deep. I think this is probably the deepest it's cut because
Yeah.
this has been the biggest experience of his life. Getting on this island, being able to walk again, and then people accusing him of being used. Saeed accused him of being used.
Yeah.
Kate accused him of being obsessive. Jack
And he doesn't
said-
know whether to trust Widmore or Ben, and they're both feeding him information.
So what do you guys think, Widmore or Ben?
I honestly
Widmore.
have no idea.
Widmore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I
with
mean-
him? You think he's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Widmore has a point being like, have I ever tried to kill you? Like, Ben tried to kill him so many times.
And then did.
kill him.
Yeah.
But I also was thinking, like, I was talking about when he was getting ready to hang himself, that, like, he's so, like, what a man of faith to, like, die, because he knows he's supposed to die. But honestly, looking back at it, I think he was just a sad man.
Why would you ever trust someone who's shot you in the stomach and left you to die?
I think
That's
it's the
true.
overwhelming desire of wanting to be important. And Ben
Yeah.
is telling him these things that...
But it doesn't trump your need to be alive. What's the point?
But he
The
was
man tried
clearly
to kill
willing
you.
to be a sacrifice. I wonder in that moment if he was just like really sad and was like wanting to die, or if I was still like, I'm supposed to do this for the island.
I
You know?
personally think there's a little bit of that.
Of
The
both.
island's still in there, but mainly it was
Like, it's just like, you don't know what else to do with that.
And remember
point.
last episode, Jack was very concerned that he caused him to commit suicide.
Yeah.
He was like, was it my fault?
Well, and then we knew Ben was a liar, right? Like, as soon as he was like, no, I didn't know he hung
Yeah.
himself. I'm like, that's not true.
Fun fact, this episode was supposed to air before the last one, actually. And they swapped the order. So, like, we
Wait.
were supposed to already know that Ben killed when we saw Ben get on the plane and when we saw Ben give the ring. We were supposed to have already seen... Well, not supposed to have,
I
but
kind of like that they flipped it, though.
they
'cause
flipped
you-
it. It kept it more mysterious,
Yeah.
maybe.
Now when Ben was when Ben said to Jack, when Jack was asking him like if it was his fault or not, and then Ben was like, no. It's like knowing that it was because Ben was the one who murdered him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
You're such a douche, man.
He's like, no, it wasn't you at all. It was me, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
I still didn't empathize with Locke still.
Really?
Just because I still think he's turning into Ben, and he's telling people you should come back because it'll save your friends, but I don't think he actually cares. I still think
He wants to be a leader.
He just wants to be on the island.
Yeah.
That's what Ben and Widmore are both doing, making sacrifices to protect the island, and I think Locke is trying to make sacrifices to protect the island. And I think
Yeah.
he's still messing with people's minds, maybe a little bit more sympathetically, but I think he's going down a Ben path.
Yeah.
I see. That's a
Ugh,
really
that's
interesting
scary.
Yeah, I think Locke could turn into the main villain.
No.
I think he can.
I'd be so sad.
thought. All right, there you
That's
go.
a good
Crazy.
theory, though. That's a good theory.
I love the theory. That'd be crazy, Hassan.
I was
Yeah.
thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is kind of. I mean, he's back alive somehow.
But
And well, go ahead.
he also didn't even ask Walt to return.
That was kind.
Oh, there you
So
go.
he wasn't willing to sacrifice.
There's a one redeeming.
And that's like
that's a good
like
point.
he's like willing to sacrifice.
And he
a
wasn't
little.
gonna call Son.
And he wasn't gonna call Son because he made a promise
Yeah,
to Jin, which
was
thought
good
was
because
like, wow.
that felt like a lie when he told Jin, because he like his
Yeah,
eyes darted
yeah,
away. His
sure.
eyes were like, yeah, sure, I won't talk to
And then
Jin.
he was like, "Take my ring," and he was like, "Okay."
Yeah, but he did actually follow through
Yeah.
with that. It was Ben that kind of is using that ring for proof. Otherwise,
Yeah, which who called it? One of you called it.
So I guess maybe empathize is not the word. I just feel so bad for him because the way he like when he's like strung up like that, and Ben says, "You're important, John," and he gets
And
his
he's,
face.
like,
he's just like, you know what?
so
Shut up,
upset.
Ben. Like for
Like,
a moment, he
thought,
actually
"I'm gonna punch you in the face."
He did.
A punchable
He
face.
he felt he was being like told this,
So
and he's like, you know what? I've been
manipulated.
told this my whole life. My dad told me I was special just to steal my kidney, you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
I feel so bad. So I don't know if empathize is the word. Maybe
I also feel like
I
maybe
just-
he wanted to see Helen again just to like
See
have
if-
some normalcy. Like
yeah.
ask like I kind of feel like he wanted to ask for forgiveness or like talk to her or like
Maybe that would have made him
Advice.
stay. Do you think?
I
think
don't know. I think so too, which is probably why Matthew said this was supposed to happen. Like she
This is
what
what-
happened to her is what was supposed to happen.
Who's to say Matthew didn't kill her or something
Honestly, yeah, that's true.
to make sure he stays on
I
the
wouldn't be
path?
surprised.
Ooh,
Oh,
'cause,
so the
yeah.
thing I was saying
Dang.
about Matthew, so I was confused because he was saying, I help Widmore get to the right people, the right places, or whatever.
He said, "I help people get to where they need to be, and I do that for Mr. Whitney."
So who's like the higher up? Like, is Widmore telling
I think
him what to do, or is
I
he
think
telling?
Widmore.
But how? So you think Widmore is actually the one that knows where everyone is, and Matthew's just like the person to get them
That's
there?
what I think so, because
Okay.
what I was trying to say during the episode is that
yeah, that makes
Widmore
sense
knows
now.
that John was on the island.
But when he was like 17, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Okay,
maybe
so that
why
makes
he
sense.
had Abaddon like with him and say, "Go on a walkabout," because
He
you
knows
know,
that's what
he
was
knows
gonna
eventually
get him
he's
there.
going to be on the island somehow.
Oh,
you
it's
know.
so crazy.
What do you think John's first words to Ben are going to be?
Nothing, just a punch in the face.
For killing
That's
him?
what I
That's a
hope
good
it is.
question.
Like if Ben
I think
wakes
he's
up,
just
what
gonna-
is John
he's
going to
gonna look
say?
at him
What
and
is
be like-
Ben going to say?
He's just gonna be like, "Hello, Ben." Hi, Henry Gale.
I think he'll wonder if Richard wanted him to kill him. I think he'll want to know if it's part of the plan.
Oh, like
Will
Richard.
he be surprised?
Right.
That's the question.
Yeah, will he be? Because he did say, "I'm gonna miss you."
Yeah, it seemed like he was ready. Like, all right, John's out of the picture.
I kind of wonder if Ben killed John because he knows John's supposed to be the leader and he wants to continue to be the leader.
Yeah.
Also, it wouldn't be the first time he lied, but Ben did say that he couldn't get back to the island, which was a lie.
Yeah. Remember when he said, "Whoever moves the island can't come back"?
Right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, at
seems
this
like-
point, you can't really believe anything Ben has
No.
said.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
annoying.
That's why you're going with Whitmore?
Yeah.
And he's
But
admitted, like,
Whitmore did
I
try to
lied.
burn down the whole island.
Did Widmore
But he
or
said-
did Kimi?
Yeah.
But Kimi said it was one of the plans
Secondary
that Whitmore
protocol.
had,
To
had
blow up
set
the
up
island?
But he
to
said,
Well-
burn it down.
but
Yeah.
Widmore said, I needed to get rid of Ben.
Yeah, but to burn down everyone on the island? How's that like saving the island?
Well, like it's,
saves the island,
we've
it
seen
doesn't save
Ben
the people on the
directly lie
Yeah, that's
continuously,
true.
nonstop
Many
about
times.
everything and anything to get his
That's true.
agenda.
Yeah.
And they're both
you
just
know?
trying to get back to the island then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Whitmore.
Well,
but
speaking
I
of-
know Ben is
I
really
kind of
trying
feel
to go
like,
back to the
don't you
island.
kind of feel like if Widmore wanted to get back to the island, he could have by now?
It's a
He
good
said he was
question,
banished
because if
by
Ben was
Ben.
able to figure it
Yeah.
out, I feel like Whitmore
By
should-
Ben?
That's what he said.
Yeah,
said
but
his-
before Ben controlled the island, so maybe he was able to keep it away from Whitmore. And that's why Ben was trying so hard to get back to the island.
Yeah.
Because this is one chance Whitmore could get to it.
Ooh, I
if
like
Ben
that
wasn't
theory.
on it.
Well, how does Locke know about Hawking?
Because Richard,
Christian told him to go see him.
That's right.
Christian said,
Her.
when you get to...
Okay. Because I'm curious.
When you
to-
convince everyone, go
so
find
Whitmore
her.
must not know who Hawking is.
Oh, I see what you're
Oh,
saying.
good.
Because
Because Hawking knows where the island is clearly, or knows how to find it.
Ah,
But
okay.
It's a
Whitmore
Whit-
must...
But didn't
Whitmore
Whitmore
can't know who
give
she is.
Desmond the right address for her?
Oh, that's true.
For
Yeah.
Daniel,
Whit-
he knows Daniel because The guy who does the orientation videos,
Yeah.
do we know what year he is?
Not officially.
Because Daniel Faraday was in his.
It's true.
So I'm only curious if Daniel Faraday was on the island at the same time as young Charles Widmore. Maybe they know each other.
Oh,
Whatever the
Probably.
connection is between Widmore and Faraday.
But they did meet when he was 17.
Right.
Not Daniel. Oh.
Yeah.
Locke did.
Oh, Daniel did too.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
But they didn't. But they flashed quickly and they didn't talk. They didn't show.
They didn't
But
talk.
Widmore did send that guy with the long hair to Hawkins.
Desmond.
Right. So if
Desmond.
Widmore knows Hawking,
Yeah.
why does he not? Because
Exactly.
they made it sound like a big deal. They couldn't know where the island is, and then as soon as they meet this woman, she's like, "Oh, we know it's coming right now." And you're like, "Okay, guess it's easy to find."
Yeah.
He does know Faraday's mother.
He doesn't know
Which
that
is-
that's who she is.
Maybe he doesn't know that she has all this knowledge about that, but he does know because he was
This is
funding.
so
He was
weird.
funding Faraday's research. Remember?
Good point.
Also, he said that he used to be the leader,
Yes, that was the one thing that I wanted to talk about.
which is just so odd because
For
Richard's been there forever.
Yeah, for 3 decades he said that he was the leader.
But Richard was the leader before him, so how did he become a leader?
Richard was leader.
Well, do we know that for sure?
I feel like
guess
Richard's
not.
never been a leader.
But Richard told him to stand down. Like, remember when he was like,
I feel
why
like
are you
Richard-
letting them go, blah,
Like,
blah, blah.
yeah, like we've talked about before, I feel like Richard has some
He's the
authority,
secret leader.
but not like
He's Jacob.
you know, like he does. Does Richard have authority over Ben when Ben
Yeah.
was leading? Does
I
he
think
have
Richard
authority?
is actually above everyone, and he's just smart because he's like, if I'm not the official leader, nobody hates me.
So he can make
And he can
commands from the
control-
shadows.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense. That'd be cool. I feel like so Widmore's the guy in charge, and Matthew
Abaddon.
I feel like he walks around, he goes and helps find the people that are special and helps what Widmore says and figures out the plans. In the same way, I think Jacob is like the Widmore, and then Richard is more like the Matt. And so he helps guide the people. And so Richard is Jacob is telling Richard who to go find to lead the group.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, I like
So he
this.
had to go find because Richard was the one who found Ben.
Yeah.
And then he's also the one helping out Locke. And
Which-
when Ben was doing all the junk with Locke about, hey, you have to kill your dad in front of us, Richard's like, hey, don't listen to Ben, you're okay.
Yeah.
Which would also make sense because remember how mad Ben got when John Locke heard Jacob and he didn't?
Yes.
And he was like, what do you mean? What did you hear? And it's like almost like maybe Ben used to be able to hear Jacob and he knew his time was up.
Well-
And John was supposed to take over and he didn't like that. And then,
And shot him.
oh. Because if
Yeah.
he's dead, he can't lead.
Exactly. So, well, I was just gonna say one thing. We also know all of season 4, Ben was kind of talking to John, like, you know what, you are about to take over. In fact, he gave the reins over to Locke,
And he said it again to like talk him out of,
killing himself.
yeah. So it's
But it
just
would make
like-
sense that Ben had to go through a certain thing to probably usurp authority from Whitmore. And then now he thinks that Locke is the next in line, and so he's doing whatever he can to stay in line.
Right.
Ooh,
So acting
yeah.
like he's on his side by saying, you're going to take over, man,
Right,
I got
yeah.
you.
But as long
only
as
to
he's
kill him.
dead,
Only,
then
only
yeah.
to keep authority.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's a great point.
But it is interesting that if maybe there's some reason because I'm like, if he thought that he was dead, why would he need to take him back to the island? But maybe there's some sort of like he has to prove to the island that he's actually dead and can't lead. Why would you risk?
Because Ben was
anything?
really like set on bringing him back to the island.
Yeah, why would you risk that if he's already dead?
Well,
and
maybe
you're
it has to
glad
do with
about
what
it?
Eloise said about making sure the flight on the way back is like the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Fun fact, trivia fact: John died the same way his dad died.
Oh.
Strangled?
Oh my
Well,
god,
strangled.
right?
Son.
Because Sawyer,
Strangled.
Oh, wow, that is fun.
because he
Fun might
was
be the wrong
Sawyer.
word, but-
Sawyer.
So
killed
fun,
Sawyer.
just to be
It's
strangled.
so fun. What a cool connection.
And also, one of our commenters brought up something that I'm trying to remember, but it has to do with Ben's mom was named Emily and gave birth to him prematurely in the woods in Portland. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
Locke's mom was named Emily and gave birth to him prematurely in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of similarities
Both born
between
leaders.
the two. Both born leaders and maybe manipulators now, according to Austin. Maybe he's
If
going to
your
become the new.
name,
Just
if
saying.
your mom's name is Emily and you're a preemie baby, you were born to lead the island.
The others.
And neither of them were raised by their mother either.
And Claire's actual name is Emily. I'm just kidding.
Her actress
Wouldn't
name
that be
is.
wild?
Is it right?
Oh
Yeah.
wait, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't seen Claire in a
I
while.
just still want to figure out everything with Walt.
I'm
That's
still
what I'm
waiting.
looking for.
And I'm waiting to
Is
see
this
if
the second
Aaron's
time
bad.
I mention a war, David? On the island? This is the second time.
I mean, the first time they talked about the war in the past between the hostiles and the others, right?
I think Widmore maybe mentioned it to Ben when Ben snuck into his room. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, he said something about a war.
Maybe he didn't.
I
And
don't
he
know.
also said it to Desmond.
About a war?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah, he
said
said-
there's like two sides.
Oh yeah.
So it's been Widmore that's been talking about a war.
It is
Yeah.
Widmore
Okay.
talking about a war.
Only throughout the whole series so far? Because I thought in like the second season or third season or something.
Oh.
There's like this
I remember them talking about past
something
wars,
about a war or whatever.
and that's why everyone.
Well, early on,
they were gonna go at war with the others or something.
yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
that's
But
right.
there actually was mention of Ben said it when he was Henry Gale. He said something, maybe. I don't remember when he was pretending. Oh, I was editing. And do you remember Hurley had a conversation, it was really brief, in the episode Cabin Fever, when they first go to find Jacob. Hurley had a conversation with Ben while they were standing over the Dharma grave, and Hurley was like, so you killed all these people? And he was like, well, it wasn't my decision. And then Hurley was like, well, whose decision was it? I thought you were their leader. And he's like, not always.
Oh.
Which hints
What if it was Whitmore?
that he wasn't the leader at the time that Dharma died.
Right.
And now that we know Widmore was the leader, there's
So
a
maybe
little
Ben-
connection.
Oh, so maybe Ben is telling the truth, and Whitmore really would be bad to be back on the island because he caused the first war.
Just a thought
Maybe.
for those people siding with Widmore. I'm just kidding.
Hate Ben,
Hey,
but
hey, I'm
No,
not. I'm not.
I'm
on
with you,
either
man.
Side.
I-
I'm just.
I think Widmore portrayed a sense of honesty and like openness, even though he was still being
Still
cryptic.
doesn't explain how he tried to destroy the island, though. I think that's a
Yeah.
good point.
to be fair though, when he said, "Have I ever tried to kill you?" He's also only been around John like 2 times
Yeah,
He
in
has
comparison
tried
to
kill
Ben.
him.
So
he has tried to kill him.
Yeah, when
When?
he said that militia group and just told them to do whatever they got to do.
but I mean, he might not have known that John would be involved.
So
No,
why
he
is
knew they were on the
invested
island.
now?
He knew they were on the
Charlotte.
island. Yeah.
Charlotte and all of them knew they were there, and they knew they weren't there to save them.
So he's
Yeah.
actually
But were
tried to kill them
But they were
all.
there to get Ben. Remember, they weren't there to kill
Yeah,
John.
but
They
he
were-
could have been like, just make sure you don't kill anyone if he cared about John. Like he pretends he does not.
Or he could have said,
Well,
make sure not to
it
kill
was secondary
John.
protocol.
But he
Like
didn't-
maybe it was a last resort thing for him
Like, it's most important to kill Ben.
because he
And if
knows
you
that
gotta
Ben
kill
can
people
kill
in the way.
everyone on the island.
Okay, it's like he didn't care that much, but now he's pretending like he cares about not killing.
But remember when? Well,
It's
who
like,
was it
what
that
is it?
said? Someone said something to Ben about like they all died, and he was like, "So." Do you remember that?
No, that was
He's
last
just like-
episode on the plane. Jack was like, What's gonna
Oh,
happen
they're
to
all
these
gonna
other
die,
people?
and he's like,
I think he
"Who
also
cares?"
said it when Kimi was dying.
Oh, that's right.
And Locke was like, you
Yeah.
just killed everyone on the boat. And he's like,
Yeah, and he's
That's
like,
right.
so, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
He's pretty ruthless
Yeah, he's a terrible
But
person.
so was Locke. Locke threw a knife at Naomi.
to save everyone.
Yeah,
I
look at
guess.
what
He
ended
probably
up
thinks he's saving
happening.
everyone.
Well, he was saving everyone from the people on
From
the boat.
who?
Yeah.
The people on the boat. That's what he was concerned
He doesn't like
about.
the boat.
But he didn't even know. Like, he's done
What?
so much without knowing things.
Right. Yeah,
Like-
he's done a lot on
but
fish.
he
killed
knew that they
Naomi.
weren't gonna be rescued.
Yeah, but Naomi could have come out to help the rest of them just like Charlotte and Dan and Miles did.
But we're not like still. We don't know their intentions on the island.
That's true.
Whose intentions?
Miles, Charlotte, and Daniel Faraday.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like we're not. I don't know. Like
we kind
But
of know a
weren't
little
they
bit.
there to stop some sort of like bomb or gas or like from
They-
killing everyone
they
that
were-
Ben set up?
They were worried that Ben might use the gas to kill everyone on the island to prevent Widmore from finding it.
Do we know
Yeah.
what Widmore's job is? Do they ever explain how he had it? Like, because I was curious if he's been on.
Widmore Industries.
Well, if he was somewhere around 20 or 17, I guess. Like, assuming he
Oh, you're
got
right.
authority that day, he was in authority for 30 years, so minimum of 47 when he got off the island. Where'd he get his
But
money?
time-
Well, how's he so rich off?
Yeah,
the
where'd he
island?
get his money?
But time's a mystery, you know?
Well,
I
he
don't know,
still
I'm
said
just-
he was on there for 30 years.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
curious if there's a
30
connection between knowledge he gained and getting his wealth to then go. I mean, he has enough money to hide a plane crash. How did he accumulate that from age 50 to whatever he is now, 60 or 70?
It's a great point. Yeah.
Maybe that's a random point. I don't know. I don't know
No,
what
but
he
it's
does.
true, yeah.
he had a lot of Apple stocks before.
And
that.
how
He
old is
actually
Penny?
works for
The new lottery.
Does
Does
that mean Penny was maybe born on the island?
That's a great point.
Who's
I mean-
Penny's mom?
Is Penny 40? Is Penny over 40?
I don't know.
He was a minimum of 47 on the island, according to that map.
Love your theories.
But
Not saying they're right, but I love your
Time
theories.
is just a hot mess when it comes to this island.
Yeah.
John hasn't aged at all, and he saw Widmore at 17 3 days ago. So maybe Widmore is a wizard that doesn't age.
This is the prequel to The Wizard of Oz.
There's been a lot of Wizard of Oz references. Henry Gale, the balloon, the man behind the curtain.
That's what I was trying to think of. I was like, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
title. That's
There's no place like home. That was the
Yeah.
name of the finale. Austin's wife has the theory.
I
that-
was gonna say, I feel like I have to say because she's
Go-
not here.
go ahead.
I don't know if it helps with this episode, but she's very excited about the theory that it's Peter Pan and the Lost Boy.
I
And
like
that
your wife.
Richard is like Peter Pan, or he's the Lost Boy. I'm
Oh
doing
my
it
God.
injustice, but he doesn't age.
I need to talk to you.
But they're all Lost Boys and they're on the island.
Peter Pan's my favorite movie. I like
But
this theory.
that's for you, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
Megan, I'm
We
on
wish
your
you could
side.
be here.
She gets so excited about every time there's even one little hint towards it. She's like, yes, Lost
Yeah,
Boys.
because the fact that
Imagine
on
we
Lost
just see a
Boys,
fairy.
remember they can't have children, or no, women aren't
Right, there's
allowed.
there was some
Sorry,
connection
we're butchering
between how every woman gets sick when they're pregnant.
Yeah.
It's something in the Lost Boys how they don't have kids or
Yeah.
the women can't get pregnant or something. I don't know, something like that.
Because they just don't grow up.
Yeah.
They don't grow up. Yeah, very similar.
Ah,
They never
can't-
age.
Oh, that's right. Because
Say COVID.
wait, I know
I
why.
said children.
Yeah.
They're
Wait,
children.
I remember why. Because in Peter Pan, Wendy tries to be everyone's mom,
Mm.
and Peter Pan's like, we don't do that here. Like, you can't be a parent. You're a child too.
Yeah.
And so, like,
That's right.
if you had a child, you'd have to be a mother, and then you wouldn't be a child.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far in our conversation, you guys are true fans. Leave a comment below because that's pretty epic. Thank you to Austin for being a guest on the couch. It was such a pleasure having you.
It was great.
If you want to see more of him and his wife talk about Lost, you can check out our Patreon and see some of the bonus content that's
With
on
Winnie.
it. With Winnie, their dog, which is adorable.
Thank you.
And our patrons think that we should get a Winnie on our couch.
As
Never
long as
have
it
too many.
doesn't shed.
Well,
Oh, huskies don't shed.
You're gonna say
No.
something.
we-
You have a husky?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
their dog
What do
sheds.
you mean they don't shed?
It's a joke.
Oh.
They shed so
We get a
much.
new dog every day with just her hair.
Yeah, exactly. So we could
It's like
borrow
my
one.
brother's
We can borrow one. That's
We'll
right.
have a mini
We
Winnie.
could have a Winnie.
A mini Winnie, yes. for
After
sure.
a week, we could have a full-size
mini.
Winnie.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Join our Patreon to watch the next episode right now if you're not there already. And subscribe on YouTube, of course, like and do all that stuff. Let's say bye, shall we? 3, 2, 1. Bye! See you next time.